2023 real estate market prediction from a very unique point of view that you probably haven't seen so far yet. So what we obviously know is prices are at an all-time high as compared to what they were a few years ago prior to COVID. But what we've also seen as a result of that is inflation all across the board for grocery prices, gas prices, etc. Our spending is now limited for other things. So what happens is either consumers continue to increase debt loads or consumers start to save money and put it in high interest savings account or sit around and wait to see what's going to happen. So because of interest rates, you might look at the market and say, well, the market is on a decline and we're headed for a recession. But on the flip side of things, you look at what's happening in the market and you see that there still is very strong demand, which is why I'm going to talk about in this video what some people aren't, which is the trends in real estate that are happening as a result. I personally feel like there is a large number of people that still need to buy, that still need to sell for whatever reason or another, but due to their situation or their circumstance, they can afford to wait a little bit. So I'm feeling right now a sense of pent-up demand in the market, and partially because there is low inventory and not a lot to choose from, and partly because there is some uncertainty as to where the market is going. I don't think anybody really knows, real estate agents included. But what I do know for sure is if affordability is lower than what we are normally used to seeing due to the fact that prices are up and cost of borrowing is also up, what we will see from people that absolutely need to buy is they might have qualified for $1.2 million prior to the rate hikes, whereas today maybe they only qualify for $800,000, but they still need to buy. When consumers see this, they don't get excited about what you can buy for $800,000 compared to what you could buy for 1.2, so they get a little bit less excited about the process. But there does become a point where they absolutely do need to pull the trigger on something, and we're starting to feel a little bit of that in the market today now. But if you follow this down to all the different price ranges, what you will find is that we did see people trending outward and trending towards the suburbs and small towns, etc. during COVID. People didn't want to be in density buildings and condos and townhouses, but because of what's happening with the rate hikes, I think we're going to start to see trends where people are buying more condos and townhouses. Here is one very interesting part of this whole thing. Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? Well, from the unique perspective of buying a condo, think about this. During COVID, prices have come up in several different markets as much as 40% over the last 2 to 3 years. They've fallen slightly since rate hikes, but they definitely haven't fallen 40%. But here's what's interesting. Would you say that condo prices have increased by that 40%? I would be willing to bet in most markets the answer is no, and in a lot of markets the answer is the prices of condos have actually fallen slightly since COVID. So if you know that people are hesitant to act but will act in a market where people are forced to buy more affordable homes in smaller price ranges, knowing also that the prices are inflated generally overall, but they're not inflated in the condo sector, wouldn't you agree that this could potentially be a very good time to buy a condo? I want to look at another few things. When the market changes, when there is uncertainty, where can you find confidence? In the fundamentals. Now, if you are a business owner and if you are looking at making an investment, if you are looking at making the right choice for yourself, whatever you know to be true, no matter what's happening in the market, is always going to be your fail-safe. If as a business owner, you know, here's what my margins are, here is what my expenses are, here is what I know will happen as a result of my activities or advertisement, no matter what's happening in the market, then you know you will always have results. And at the end of the day, most successful people know that it's not the strongest or the fastest person that succeeds. It is the most adaptable person. So in light of the fact that some people might complain that it is not as affordable as it has been many years gone by, think about this. Consumerism is at an all-time high as compared to where things were in the 80s, which is what I find a lot of people are trying to compare today's interest rate hikes to how it was back then. In the 80s is where consumerism and credit cards really started to enter the market in a big way. We've now been here for a long time and consumers are accustomed to that lifestyle. If you live a little bit more of a conservative lifestyle, you may not feel as affected and you might feel like you're in an advantageous position. But also consider, look at the opportunities that we have in the technology today. We're talking about being adaptable. If you go out and look at what's available with what you can do now with artificial intelligence, it is absolutely mind-boggling. And not to think, you explain this to people and it totally goes over their head. Like, what are you seriously talking about, Chris, right now? Okay, but then you also look at what's been taken for granted now too, which is social media. If you were to take your smartphone back to the 1980s and you were to say, hey, Mr., hey, Mrs., here's what I have, or whatever pronoun you have. Here's a smartphone, here's what it does, and everybody has one. And here's what it costs on a monthly basis. What do you think they're gonna say? They're gonna say you're absolutely nuts, you're off your rocker. But these are what the tools we have access to today. We have access to more tools and luxuries and conveniences today than kings of the past, but we take it for granted. If you want to make money online today, it is absolutely accessible to everybody, which I believe does level the playing field. And think about this. In terms of affordability today, even considering the fact that inflation is at an all-time high and interest rates have come up somewhat, incomes have also come up. If you compare it to where things were back in those times, it is still more affordable today than it was back then. The biggest difference is the average consumer spending. So where do you see opportunities in this market? Is there something that I maybe didn't mention that I could add to this list? Curious to hear your thoughts. Agree or disagree? Thanks for watching today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on this video next.